Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 2 of the Order of Insanity's Tharomel campaign. Let's see, last time we left off, our heroes found themselves being drawn away from home in the region of Minderall, where they had grown and thought that they existed in an entire world. Now their world has been opened up and they've gone off exploring beyond the reaches that they had previously known. They found themselves traveling to the city of Averton through a mountain pass on the eastern reaches of Minderall. This mountain pass was a beautiful mountain pass, paved as if it had been there for 1,000 years. And as they went up and came over the crest of the hill, they were looking down upon an octagonal city, the city of Averton. And in the center of that city, they could see in the distance Castle Averton, where they had been summoned by the Baron Gideon Miser to fulfill some task that he had, especially for those that were up to that. So they found themselves entering the city, and it was nightfall, so they had to go ahead and take shelter in a tavern for the night. So they found themselves entering into the Bird's Eye Tavern, which was on the western edge of the city as they entered. They entered separately, not knowing each other. A couple of them knew each other, but Sparhawk and Grog entered the city together, and Lorik Swiftblade found himself sharing a table with these strangers. And as they sat in the tavern and were able to order some mead and mutton on the Baron, he was providing them with these resources for the night since they were coming at his behest. They sat in the tavern and enjoyed it just for a short while, and after a short while, they'd heard an argument break out in the middle of the tavern and quickly subsided, and they were enjoying their mead, and next thing you know, an argument breaks out in the center of the tavern. The same argument repeated once again. And as they started to encounter more of these repeat type attitudes, more like having a sense of deja vu over and over again through conversations with the people in the tavern, eventually the tavern just grew quiet. And from the corner opposite of their table, there came the noise of another patron wondering what was going on. I mean, thinking the same thing that our heroes were thinking, but he stood up and spoke out. And when he did, pale, ghastly faces of the other patrons in the tavern all turned to look at the individual who had spoken in the corner. And after they turned and looked at him, they stood and started moving towards the man in the corner. And that left our heroes with an opportunity to think about their next step. And for one Minotaur, that next step was charging towards that corner where the man had been. And he did just that. He charged through into the corner, killing quite a number of these ghastly figures, and swinging a table around, he just laid waste, but not fast enough, unfortunately, for the man in the corner. His last screams were heard, and he perished in the fray. And Sparhawk found himself going up the stairs to explore. And as he went up the stairs, he found that the tavern rooms where people would typically rent a room and stay, they were empty. At least the one door he opened. The door was unlocked. He swung the door open, and it was an empty room. Nothing there to be found. So he kind of just stayed upstairs and explored the hall momentarily while the mess downstairs was being finished up, and Lorik used his blade to cast a couple of zombies asunder before that mess was squashed, and there were no more patrons left standing in the tavern other than our three heroes, Sparhawk, Grog, and Lorik. Now Sparhawk from upstairs shouted down for Grog to come on up, and after Sparhawk had opened up one of the doors upstairs and explored this empty room, he felt it necessary to have the Minotaur smash open the remaining doors, never actually trying the handles to the doors to know whether they were locked or unlocked. That didn't seem to matter to Sparhawk. He wanted to put Grog to work. And Grog did just that. He came up the stairs and quickly cast aside the doors, threw them asunder, shattered them if need be, laying open all of the rooms on the upper floor. Now all of the rooms proved to be vacant and empty, as if many of them had been empty for years. One room, however, appeared to be cleaner than the others, as if it had been recently cleaned. We don't really know why that is. Nothing was found in this room, but something was different about it. So, without having found anything in the in there, now I must say that before he called Grog up, he lit forth a mighty shout down the hall upstairs.
Prat.
A mighty shout that he declared as such, seeking if there were any other people upstairs. And once that mighty shout was let go, after a few minutes, there came pounding at the front door of the tavern. And after looking outside, they could see that there were some guards kind of just walking into the door, drawn clearly by the noise. Now, after a while, after they had explored the upstairs, they made their way back downstairs, and shortly after, the guards broke through the door and entered into the tavern, and that left our heroes with another opportunity to dispatch of more zombies. And these zombies, wearing the armor they were wearing as guards of the city, they were not so easily dispatched. Sparhawk nearly suffering a mortal wound. Thankfully for him, he was able to drop loose the zombie that had him just as Grog came charging through, finishing off the last of the zombies and sparing Sparhawk's life. Now, Grog, after having done that, and after they had dispatched all of the guards, he continued to smash into the last zombie that he had trapped against the corner wall, and he continued to just gore this zombie and the wall behind the zombie as he continued to just charge. Eventually, he broke through the wall, and after breaking through the wall, he found a small treasure trove, basically a chest containing what would appear to be the earnings from the tavern that they were in. And he really did enjoy the shiny. And they decided that they were going to bar the door, which Sparhawk quickly went over, and after looking outside to try to find his spider that has followed him from Minderall to Averton, the spider unfortunately was nowhere to be seen out in the street beyond the tavern. So he quickly came back in and went ahead and barred the door, and they prepared to stay the night in the tavern. So Lorik found a nice comfortable spot behind the bar where thankfully there was no gore because there had been no fighting back behind the bar. So he found a spot to lay down there. Most of the actual tavern floor was covered with gore, so Sparhawk decided to retreat upstairs to the one room that appeared to be cleaner than the others, and he made himself a suitable spot to lay on, and he went to sleep as well. And Grog, being the Minotaur that he is, and enjoying the shiny that he had found in the cubbyhole beneath the stairs, he decided to settle down beside the chest of shiny and just doze off to sleep. And the next thing that our heroes knew was Lorik opening his eyes the following morning and looking up at a very angry innkeeper. Now, this innkeeper clearly doesn't know what Lorik is doing behind his bar, and we're going to get to that here in just a minute. But before we do, I want to give each of the players the opportunity to reintroduce themselves, as well as go ahead and if there were any attributes of their character that they introduced or tried to portray over this previous session, I want to give them the opportunity to clarify those things for you guys, the viewers, as well as the other players and me, the DM. So I'm going to give the floor first to Sparhawk, and I'd like to hear just a couple things about what you thought of the previous session, things that maybe you wish hadn't happened, things that you wish had happened differently, anything that you tried to portray about your character. And the floor is yours, sir.
I wish I knew a lot more out of character, of course. I wish I knew a lot more about D&D and how my class works, but as opposed to that, I'm still learning. In character, I've learned I need to aim a lot more. I can't just fire blindly and expect to hit something. And in character, I miss my pet quite a lot. I've had it since it was a small hatchling, and now I don't know what it's gone. In the heat of the moment, I completely forgot its existence, and the only thing I cared about was myself. I hope that never happens again.
Okay, so we found that Sparhawk discovered that in the heat of battle, he became slightly selfish. I mean, he left his brothers Grog and Lorik down to finish off some zombies as he retreated upstairs. Maybe he's learned something, thinking in retrospect. He's learned a little bit about himself from that encounter, as well as obviously the fact that he was able to completely forget about the spider, as he said, that the spider that he's had since it was a hatchling. And I will ask Sparhawk, just out of curiosity, does the spider have a name?
I think it was Leggy, wasn't it?
Is it Leggy? Okay.
I think it's Leggy.
I didn't have it written down anywhere, but I want to. So.
Or as Grog calls it, the little furry one.
Okay, so we've heard a little bit from Sparhawk now, and from Tankor as well, about feelings from the previous session and how things went. Let's move on to Grog, and we can get a little out of character and in character from Grog, and see what St. Wayne thinks about the last session. Go for it.
Right, I'll start off with the out of character stuff first, get that over and done with. Well, it was a very enjoyable session last time. At the moment, I'm thinking Grog's a bit hard to kill, but I wasn't expecting him to be anywhere near that effective when I was making him, because I made him just for fun, to be perfectly honest. But he seems to be very effective. I think we might have wiped last time round if I didn't wake up in time.
Yeah, it was a good thing that they got you woken up for sure.
It was enjoyable, and it's certainly odd playing somebody a bit of a moron, which I'm going to have to get used to.
Okay,
Because,
anything in
I was
character,
probably acting a
anything
bit
that Grog
short-lived.
is thinking. I mean, Grog is waking up in the morning.
Yeah,
What is Grog
exactly.
thinking as he's waking up right now?
Well, in character as Grog, he thinks people should not interrupt him while he's sleeping. He gets very angry when he's woken up abruptly.
Okay, all right, we'll see more on that. So anything from this previous session, I didn't really mean to move forward yet, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And he loves the shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Grog loves the shiny. Grog is in berserker mode apparently last night, but yeah.
Yeah, he definitely had a bit of a bloodthirst there for sure.
He did.
All right.
Grog is very bloodthirsty and loves the shiny.
All right. Anything else for you then, Wayne?
That's it for now.
All right, then we'll move on to Mr. Lorik Swiftblade, the third and final member of our party. Clegg, what feelings do you have from the last session?
I enjoyed it. There was a couple of times when I thought we got lost when we were doing dice rolls and that, but other than that, it was a great session. All I can actually say is never trust an archer. Yeah, especially one who can't aim properly.
So there's a chance that perhaps some of the actions that Sparhawk made in this last session may have soured Lorik Swiftblade to Sparhawk a bit, eh?
From Lorik's point of view, Sparhawk comes across as an extremely green and underexperienced adventurer and he attributes the battle only to Grog at the end of the day. The fact that he was willing to stay behind and try and wake Grog up as Swiftblade, as Lorik himself was trying to get out the door. It was a case of he's a Minotaur, he can look after himself, let's get out of here, but no, Sparhawk wanted to stay. I was supremely confident in my abilities. Unfortunately, I come to the conclusion that all of my attacks are AoE, and there's a lot of damage coming out of them.
Yeah. All right, so again, let's go ahead and...
Green Flame Blade for the win.
Yeah, Green Flame Blade.
Flame Blade.
Did anybody then have any observations that should have been made about their characters that we didn't already address?
I would like to point out, Tig, that I'm going to be looking up to both Grog and Lorik Swiftblade for as my peers. Grog's this big, strong Minotaur that can take on anything as far as I'm concerned, and Lorik is this warrior who is just amazing. I've never seen moves like that before in my life, so I'm going to be looking up to them and going, can you help me survive, basically?
I think your relationship with Grog is evolving. I mean, you kind of saved Grog's life when you pulled him out of that slave camp, but that dynamic's changing now. He's returned the favor. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out as well. Is he going to feel the same, draw to go ahead and continue to follow you as well? I wonder. So, as I said, we're waking up now. It's morning time. Grog may very well still be sleeping under the stairs, but we know that Lorik has kind of been startled awake by the innkeeper, and the innkeeper is looking down at Lorik, and he's going to angrily inquire, "Just what do you think you're doing in my tavern?"
I fully believe I was asleep. Are you open?
As of now, yes. Just how did you enter this tavern? It was secured. Are you a thief?
To be perfectly honest, innkeeper. Last night I don't remember much. I was absolutely wasted. All I remember is getting my head down behind this bar. However, seeing as you're open, here's a gold piece. Can I have some breakfast and some wine?
Also a question, can he hear me snoring?
No.
No, okay.
I do like gold. I'll tell you what. You give me a gold piece to forget me finding you here, and you give me another gold piece for your breakfast, and I'll get you taken care of.
That's a fantastic deal. I'll be sat over in the corner.
All right. I'll have Julia bring you some food here as soon as she arrives from the kitchen. All right. So, Lorik, you're going to make your way to the corner to sit. I don't have a map. We remember kind of the tavern had some tables arrayed. And are you sitting at the same table you guys had sat at before there that was close to the bar? Or are you sitting...
Yeah, I'm sat at the table, which is, as you look at the bar on the right-hand side, opposite the stairs.
Okay.
The stairs on the other side, sort of thing.
Right, yep, that's the table you guys had sat in the previous night. Now, you will notice that you're the only patron there thus far. Literally, the inn has just been opened up for the morning. Nobody's come down from upstairs, from sleeping upstairs or anything. You're the first person to take a seat at the table. The rest of the tavern is empty, other than you and the innkeeper. And he did mention that Julia was in the kitchen. And that's back behind, past the bar, through, under. So.
I'll take my seat, but however, I will take this opportunity to get my sword to be pulled at a moment's notice, remove the hook so it can be easily pulled out.
Okay.
So I'm ready for action. So I've got my back to a wall. I can see the bar to the right of me. I've got the door to the left of me. So I've got a good view of the whole tavern from where I'm sat.
Yep. Okay, sounds good.
And I shall legally await breakfast.
All right, so we're going to go upstairs now. Sparhawk as well started to stir. And as he started to open his eyes, he saw that there was indeed a well-furnished room. And in that room, and on that bed, there was an individual sleeping soundly. What is Sparhawk's reaction to that? What is he going to do now?
Oh, God. What can I observe in the room now that it's furnished? Like, what is my surroundings?
You've got a bed, like I say, with an individual sleeping on it, and you have a chest of drawers along the wall up towards the front of the bed. And it looks like the patron that's sleeping on the bed has a few personal items sat atop the chest of drawers. And that's pretty much all the furnishings. There is a rocking chair in the opposite corner from the chest of drawers. Beyond that, there's not anything else in the room. It's a pretty simple tavern room.
I'm going to get up. I'm going to pack my things up as quietly as I can. I'm going to get a good look at that person's face. Right? Male or female?
Hang on a
Is
second.
it male or female?
Yep, hang on just 1 second here. I've got to sort out this hitbox issue. It's stopped passing through. Let me stop hitbox stream and start it back up.
And our character, just let me know when my character's awake. He's going to get a good sleep because obviously he was very active the night before.
Right.
Just let me know when my character roughly wakes up. Just do it randomly if you want, that's fine.
Okay. Let me grab my dice here. And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you didn't watch the first session, we are streaming this live. It's on Hitbox, on Totally Insane Gamer, and TFB Gaming, and it's also able to be watched on Hitbox. Wait, did I say Hitbox or Twitch first?
Hitbox.
Okay, it's on Twitch. It's on twitch.tv/TotallyInsaneGamer, twitch.tv/TFBGaming, and it's on hitbox.tv/TotallyInsaneGamer. So it's being streamed right now to 3 different locations. So, unfortunately, one of the three had an issue I just had to sort out. But we're back at it now. So you Sparhawk's investigating to see if this is a male or a female. Sparhawk, will you go ahead and roll a d20 for me?
D20.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's a 13. Okay. All right. So you're able to get up close to see the person's face. I mean, the blanket's kind of pulled up pretty well up on their shoulders, so you do have to get up a decent amount up the side of the bed to see their face clearly. And you're able to do so without waking them up. And you do find it to be a male patron. Go ahead and roll your... just roll an intelligence check for me, or do perception check.
Perception. Right. Let me check what the perception is. Where's perception? Perception is 5. Top left corner, very bottom.
What do you stats, yeah?
I don't see what you're saying, but it says here my perception is under wisdom and it's 5 plus 5, so...
Okay. So go ahead and do a roll and add 5 to your roll.
Roll 1 plus 5. Is it D20?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Alright, you've rolled a 15. Okay. By looking at the gentleman in the bed, you recognize him to be the courier that had come running in early on in the night when everything started. The young man who had run in and looked around quickly and saw what was happening and then quickly darted out. And you guys didn't know exactly what ended up happening to the boy. But now it's him, and he's lying in this bed somehow in this tavern that you guys had pretty much completely destroyed. So, and he appears to be, it's a wealthy room. I mean, it's a very nice bed, comfortable bed. I don't know how a courier would afford such a room. But this boy is laying in this bed. So.
Okay.
You wanting to do
character.
anything else? Yeah.
Right. In character. Right then. I better get myself scarce. I'm thinking this to myself in my head. So.
Right.
I want to walk over to the door, see if it's unlocked. It better be unlocked. I swear to God, it better be unlocked.
Okay. Let me find out here. It is locked, but you look at it and it just has a wooden slide. That locks right there from the inside, and you're obviously inside the room. So you just have to unslide that, and
okay.
If you want to go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
1 d20.
Yep. And you just rolled that 18 there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to slide open the door without arousing the patron in the bed. He continues to sleep.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna. I don't know what to do now.
You were in the middle room on the opposite side of the hallway from where the stairs are. If you turn right and go down the hall, that'll take you towards the stairs. If you turn left, it takes you towards the window.
Yeah, I wanna walk down the stairs. I wanna turn right, walk down the stairs, and see what's going on.
All right, let me see. Grog, will you roll a d20 for me?
Yep, of course.
Okay. Now it may be Grog's intention to try to get as much sleep as possible here. Unfortunately, as Sparhawk was coming down the stairs, there were a couple of squeaky stairs, and the squeaking of the stairs has awoken Grog. And Sparhawk, you've made your way on down the stairs now. So you can look over and you can see that Lorik is sitting at the table you guys were at last night. You can also now notice that everything seems to be arranged properly, as if none of the tables were destroyed or anything was thrown out of place last night.
Okay. Alright, Lorik, how's it going, mate?
Good morning, Sparhawk, and where have you been?
I've woken up in a very strange place, as I don't think we're in the same place. Are we in the same place?
Oh yes. If you would look, nothing we did last night seemed to have happened. I highly recommend we find Grog and get out of here now.
Yeah, where is Grog? And this is giving me the creeps. I really want to get the hell out of here.
Alright, so what is Grog thinking
Well,
now? He's opened his
breakfast.
eyes. Yeah, what's Grog thinking?
Well,
He's opened his eyes and it's completely dark. You can see a couple of cracks of light coming from, one of them's coming from underneath a stair that's a little loose, and the other one seems to be coming from the direction of the bar, like maybe it's the crack in the secret panel. You're seeing a couple shafts of light, but other than that, it's completely dark.
Right, question out of game first then. Has he had enough sleep to feel rested after the amount he did last night, or
You all have gotten about all have gotten about 6 hours of sleep, so you guys are rested. You guys are rested
reasonably
enough.
well
You're all
Okay.
reset to standard health and everything. So
Yeah, it's just for his mood when he's waking up more than anything else. I wanted to know that. Right.
Sparhawk's probably
He wakes-
a little bit sore, but he's healthy enough. Yeah.
Grog sort of wakes up and goes, Grog, where's the light gone? Then I get up, walk towards.
Okay, you're not going to
The
be able to
light, I
stand all the
suppose.
way up. You're going to get about
But
yeah.
he doesn't know that though.
Right, but you're standing up.
So,
Okay, so roll a d20 then.
Can I hear Grog moving about when he crashes into the ceiling?
Not yet. We'll see.
14.
Okay, you rolled a 14. Hang on, I gotta
14.
find this right here real quick. Hang on, there was a chart that I have to look at.
I'm gonna break the stairs, aren't I? I'm gonna headbutt them and break them.
Well, I don't know yet. That's what I've got to get. I've got to get the statistic for the structure. Okay, let's see here.
Bleeding Harry Grog Potter over here.
You said you rolled a 14.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Alright, so that is... Well, they are wooden
At
stairs.
least my person holds.
That's something to be happy about.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And you've basically got two swords sticking through it. So I got the big horns on top of my head after being 9
I'm
foot
just
tall.
looking. Okay, that was an 18. Okay. Basically, you stand up and hit your head on one of the stairs, and you can hear the creak of a nail as it kind of squeaks out a little bit. The stair doesn't come all the way up. The nails stay in a bit. You're able to get up to where you're about 6 feet of your 9 foot stature. Your head kind of stops at the 6 foot mark, and your horn was kind of stuck in the stair, but you're able to get it loose there, and the stairs held. The shaft of light that was coming through got a little bit bigger.
Did I hear the noise he made?
Yes, yeah, the
Ow.
screak of the nail, and maybe the ow.
Right, I'd like to take this opportunity to stand up and head towards the door on the way out.
Okay, you're going to head towards the door on the way out, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to head to the entrance of the tavern, and open the door.
Okay. You notice that as you're standing up from the table, the tavern tough that was there the previous night walks in and kind of looks around the tavern and takes his seat at the stool.
Alright, I'll walk past him at this point.
Okay.
And step outside.
Okay, you step outside. You can see that there's just a few patrons starting to make their way around the city. You can also see that there are some town watchmen on the corners. One are usually squads of 2 or 3. They don't look to be heavily armored. As you step out, you look to your right, and down the long road, you can basically see what you're looking at there on the map. You can see a long road that ends in a circular wall, and then high up above that wall you can see the castle peeking up above that wall. And let me show the map to those in the streams. He can look down and he can see the light area there on the map. Okay, so back to Grog under these stairs.
I followed Lorik out, by the way. I was like, wait, where you going, mate? Where you going? And so I followed him out and went with him. So.
Okay, so you guys have both stepped out front now. Grog is still under these stairs. What is Grog doing right now?
Grog is... Well, I rub my head and then I head towards the other source of light that was in the room.
Okay. Let me see here. Where was that chart? Let's see if it's locked or not.
I wish I had infravision.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Are you pushing on it, or are you just moving towards the light? You're just investigating.
I'm investigating at the moment.
Okay, roll your perception.
Okay, my perception. Oh, God. So 19 in total. It's plus 3.
Okay, that's good enough. You're able to tell that there is, on the opposite side of the door that you're on, you can tell that there's a lock. So you're locked in, and it's a padlock that's on the opposite side of this, but you can tell now that it's a door of some sort.
Right, I'm just gonna bang on the door a bit.
Okay, you're just gonna kind of knock on it.
Basically, I'm just gonna bang my fist into it a few times. Yeah.
Okay, roll another d20 for me.
Basically, punching the door a little bit.
Okay, roll a d20.
Oh God.
Okay.
8.
Fortunately for you, the innkeeper, and especially because there's no patrons in the inn right now, he was extremely alert. He's just woken up. He's had his first cup of coffee, and he was working there behind the bar, so he did hear the knocking coming from behind his secret panel. So he's going to go over and he's going to yell through, "Hello?
Hello? Can somebody let me out of here?
How did you get in there?"
I have no clue. I just woke up here. I remember bursting through a wall last night, and I'm here. I have no clue how.
Interesting. Well, unfortunately, I can go ahead and slide the bar away from this door, but I'll be completely honest with you. I've never had a key to this door since I took over this tavern.
How much is it going to cost to replace this door?
I'll charge you 25 gold pieces
Okay, stand back.
If you're gonna try to break out, hey, you want me to help you at all from this side?
I'd stand back.
All right, let me just move the bars and let me move everything out of the way of this door real quick.
I would.
All right, you hear a little bit of clattering glass and such. All right, go ahead. I'm out of your way.
I start smashing it with my axe.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Just want a d20 or do you want me to roll a basic attack?
Well, you can go ahead and roll a basic attack. That's fine. See what your attack does here. I just rolled the defense for the door.
Okay, no problem. Right, I was just checking what I need to roll for it. Sorry, it's been a little while since we played this. $23 to hit.
Okay.
If you want to roll basic damage, I can do.
Obviously, you don't have your full height right now, but you're kind of able to take the axe and kind of use it as a kind of a battering ram type action with it, and you're able to put enough strength behind it. And obviously, this tavern must be pretty old because the door, it breaks the hinges, and the door breaks out, and you're able to now see the opening that's leading behind the bar. And you can see that the innkeeper is at the opposite end of the bar, kind of looking questioningly at who's going to come out from this cubby under the stairs.
And then he sees this. Well, at the moment, 6 foot high Minotaur. I step out and go to my full height and put my axe back on my back.
And he backs up until he just kind of bumps into the wall. He's like, "Oh,
yeah, I have no idea how I got there.
Well,
I have no idea how I fit in there.
Yeah.
I'll get to the other side of the bar now.
Yeah, we did say something about money, right?
Yeah, I'll just get to the other side of the bar and I'll give it you now. And on the way past him, I give him the 25 gold.
Okay. All right.
No
well,
questions asked. I
you
just
know,
give it to him.
for a door I've never used, I've never been able to access it. Thanks for letting me get to an area I've never been, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Lorik and Sparhawk, you guys are outside. You maybe heard a little bit of that commotion inside. You heard him take his axe probably and batter that as the
Sparhawk.
Yes, Lorik?
Sparhawk. Stick your head in and see if that's grog. Stick your head in and see if that's grog.
I will. I hope it's not bloody grog, for God's sake. Oh.
Well, if it is, I'm going in that direction, away from here as soon as possible.
Alright, well,
I have no desire to get into another problem.
Listen, if you are going in that direction, is there any way we can meet up later?
Well, we'll see if there's any trouble first. I don't want a repeat of last night.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Alright. So I'll walk back to,
Okay.
I'll walk back to the inn, have
Okay.
a look, peek my head in the corner.
All right, Lorik, go ahead and roll your perception for me.
Okay. How's a roll
Just roll
perception now?
roll a
Hang on.
d20, and then you should have perception.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Bad.
Okay. You don't notice anything as Sparhawk turns to go back. You're kind of looking back as Sparhawk's walking towards the tavern. Your eyes are following him, and you didn't notice anything else. Sparhawk, while you're walking back to the tavern, will you go ahead and roll your perception as well?
Yep, I will. Where's the... Perception is +5, so D20 +5, right?
Yep.
Where's that thing? There it is. 20 plus 5. Roll. Ooh! 24.
Okay, you're heading towards the tavern. I mean, you guys were, what, like 15 feet from the door outside? Is that about right?
Yeah, about that.
Okay, you're walking back towards the tavern. And I take it you guys had moved towards the center of the city? Or had you moved towards the exit of the city?
Towards the centre, because that's where we're headed originally.
Okay.
To get the reward, to get the quest from Miser.
Okay, so from behind Sparhawk, you hear like the clatter of chainmail over the commotion that's starting to rise up in the city as more and more people are starting to walk out in the street. You kind of hear the distinguishable clatter of weaponry on chainmail coming from behind you as you're approaching the tavern to check and see if that was Grog.
Okay. Chainmail and what did you say it was? Chainmail and weapons?
The familiar clatter of weapons and chainmail. Like a weapon in a scabbard kind of banging up against chainmail. That familiar clatter of like a soldier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like marching or running or?
Well, you don't know. It's behind you.
Okay. So I'll pop my head in the door and go, Grog, mate. Grog. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where were you?
I was in a dark hole.
What were you? What?
Oh, in a dark hole. I somehow was in a wall, darkness. I don't know. I don't remember last night. I drunk too much, and all I remember is some sort of bar brawl, walls and tables being broken. I woke up in a hole.
Oh, Grog. You know? Oh my God. Grog.
What?
Leggy.
What?
I completely forgot about. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh no.
Oh, Squishy.
Oh.
Squishy. What's the blurry one?
Out of character is the what you call it? The bruiser guy standing to the left of me at this stage.
Yes. If you're poking your head in the door,
All right.
he's to the left of you.
All right. So I'm gonna turn to him and go, "Excuse me, mate. Have you seen a big ass spider anywhere?"
Why would I have seen a big ass spider somewhere?
Because it's my pet, and I came here with it, and it's gone, and I don't know where it is.
Okay, well, if you're just now getting here, why don't you just go back to the gate? I mean, the guards would have been the one to keep it out of the city.
Out of the. It never went out of the. Oh. Okay. Oh. All right.
I mean, I don't know. This is the first time I mean, you guys just arrived in this city. I mean, I don't know how I would have seen your spider.
Well, you know, spiders aren't common things, are they? They're big and hairy and they're big. You know, I haven't seen many.
Well, then the simple answer is no. The simple answer is no. I haven't seen your damn spider. If I had seen your spider, I probably would have killed it. So, be glad I haven't.
Oh yeah.
I don't like spiders.
I'll be watching you.
The missus constantly has me killing the things.
Well, I don't like your eyebrows.
Yeah, well, don't make me use this cudgel on you, sir. I'll do it.
Oh yeah, well.
It's early in the morning, but I'm not too tired to take care of the riffraff.
Okay, I'm sorry. I love you.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm really. My head's going at 100 miles an hour. I'm just gonna go. Okay, Grant, let's just go.
That sounds advisable. Yeah, why don't you guys find your way on out of the Bird's Eye Tavern and
I'm gonna sit here and have breakfast.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna sit here and have some breakfast before I go anywhere and have more meat hair of the dog.
Excuse me, but this is the innkeeper speaking now. Unfortunately, I because of how I have to treat other patrons, I can't serve a minotaur without its master being alongside it.
I don't have a master.
You're a minotaur.
Yes.
I
I'm a
can't. I
mercenary.
can't serve you here unless you're accompanied by a master.
Right, I'll make this simple. I walk over, grab Tanch by the collar, lift him up, bring him to the table and say, look, somebody's here, give me breakfast.
He looks quizzically at Sparhawk. What would
Sparhawk's
you
looking rather pale at this stage.
what would you like for your minotaur? What food shall I bring your minotaur?
Whatever makes him let me go, basically.
Just a full cooked breakfast, please.
Okay,
And
it's
a jug of meat.
It's gonna be 15 silver pieces for breakfast today. We're serving
Breakfast and drink, or just breakfast?
we're serving milk with scrambled eggs and toast.
That'll do. That'll do. And then I'd let him
Feel
go.
violated.
Lorik, what is Lorik doing outside now? Sparhawk hasn't returned as quickly as Lorik had anticipated, perhaps?
Well, seeing as I've already made arrangements to meet Sparhawk at the main citadel in a bit, I'm going to take a wander down the main street and have a look at some shops.
Okay,
I'll see if I
towards
can find
the
somewhere where I
center
can
of the
meditate.
city, or...
Towards the centre of the city.
Okay, as you turn away from the tavern and face the center of the city, you notice that there is a gentleman kind of looking around at the different faces of the people on the street. And this gentleman is flanked by 2 soldiers. I say soldiers, I mean these gentlemen are much heavily armed compared to the town guards that you've seen previously. And those 2 soldiers are flanked by 2 armored minotaurs. And as you turn from the tavern, his eyes lock with yours and he starts to walk towards you. Now, the gentleman that's walking towards you, he's not armored. He's just wearing some finery.
Okay. I'll stand my ground and just watch for the few moments.
Okay.
And allow him to approach.
So he's going to approach you. He's got a rolled up paper in his hands. And as he gets to you, he unrolls it. And he says, "Ah, you must be the swordsman Lorik, I take it, from my check-in of the watch last night. Is that correct?"
You seem surprisingly well informed.
Well, we make them keep good records at the gates as people enter. We have to, seeing as we don't disarm the people that enter the city, we have to know who has what weapons. So I would ask that you accompany me to the castle. The Baron has something to ask you.
Very well. I will accompany you. However, I need somewhere first private to meditate for an hour before I accompany you. Do you have somewhere I can sit in private, secure?
I was instructed to bring you directly to the Baron.
Lead on. Lead on.
Okay, and the gentleman turns and starts walking back towards the the castle of the city, and the 2 soldiers swing around and get behind you with the minotaurs still flanking them. And are you following?
I'm following. Just a quick glance back. I want to see if there's any identifying markings on the armour or
Okay.
anything.
Roll your perception.
Can I see anything that stands out?
Roll your perception. Ooh, okay. As you look back, the soldier on your left, you can see he's kind of got a half helm, It's not got a face guard on it, but the helm kind of wraps around this much of his face, kind of goes down and then around his mouth here. But you're able to perceive, looking at that portion of him, this is the guy that stood up in the corner of the tavern last night. And yet, looking at him, he looks as if he's been a soldier his entire life.
I'm going to slow down slightly and just engage you in conversation.
Okay, what are you going to say?
Tell me, how long have you been a soldier here? Tell me, how long have you been a soldier in this fine city of yours?
I've been a soldier going on 15 years now, under the Baron's flag.
15 years. Interesting. And tell me, the nightlife here, is it always quiet?
Yeah, we get the, normal rabble, but the town's watch is here for that. We're not here for that. We're here for battles out on the field and the personal guard of the Baron himself.
Interesting. So 15 years, you say? Wow, that you must have lots of great stories. You have to enlighten me someday on some of your adventures and battles. I am a big fan of history.
I'm sorry. Just walk. We're just taking you to the Baron.
Oh, okay, no problems. Didn't want to disturb you too much. And I'll quicken my pace, and I'll put a little bit of distance between myself and the guards, but still be behind the guy in the finery.
Okay. And back to the tavern. Sparhawk and Grog have been brought their scrambled eggs with toast and a glass of milk each. And because Grog allowed the innkeeper to gain access to that cubby, and obviously already paid 25 gold, he's got an extra large mug of milk with his breakfast, and an extra large plate of scrambled eggs, and an extra slice of toast.
Nice.
Nice.
As he lays them down at your table personally, because Julia still hasn't shown up, he sets them down on your table and says, "I may have to follow city ordinances, but that doesn't mean I always agree with them." And then he walks back to his bar.
That's understandable.
And leaves you guys to eat in peace.
Enjoy your How good is the eggs and toast and Tig?
Well,
is it good or is it terrible? My guy is eating it.
Take
wondering.
take a bite. I mean, and
yeah, he is. He's eating it and just wondering what it.
okay.
Roll
Roll a d20 if you want to know. Let's see. That's a good question.
Okay. I have no problem with that. There you go. Oh, it's fantastic. Apparently.
Okay. They as you're eating. Well, that's a perception roll basically. As you're eating the eggs and toast, you're perceptive enough to realize that it tastes good, but it's almost as if it's falling to ash on your tongue. Like the taste's still there. It still tastes like eggs. It tastes like toast, but it's not very substantial. It's kind of like dissolving before you can swallow it. It's not really staying a solid substance like it's going to nourish you as you eat it. Does that make sense?
Right, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to continue eating then, obviously, till I've finished and drinking the milk.
Okay.
So I look at Grog and say, "How is it, Grog? Is it good?"
It tastes nice. Good eggs. And obviously we're going to find Squishy and that Lorik after we've had this.
Okay. Lorik, will you go
Okay.
ahead and roll a perception check for me again, Lorik? Okay. As you're walking back towards the castle, you're focused on walking in the footsteps of the gentleman that's guiding you, and you're not perceptive enough to notice anything else. Alright, so back to Sparhawk and Grog in the tavern.
I'm slugging off the milk, basically.
Okay. So you guys finish eating then. What do you want to do now?
Thank you, Timekeeper. That was delicious. What about you, Spar?
I think I miss my pet. I mean, I really want to go and find him. Thank you, Barkeep. That was absolutely amazing. That was really good, man. Thank you. I get sick a little bit in my mouth and try and hide it, but anyway.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, sir. We're gonna go find our friends and that. Be back later on this evening for a room and something else.
Okay. So you guys are making
Good
your
day,
way
sir.
out of the tavern? Okay.
Aye, Grog is, yes.
Okay, as you guys step out of the tavern, you notice that there's a group of soldiers and a gentleman in finery out on the street. And the gentleman in finery is looking around. And as you guys step out of the tavern, he locks eyes with Sparhawk. What do you guys want to do?
Oh, Christ, here we go. Here we bloody go. I
What
know
have you
that
done?
look. Grog, I know that look, I'm telling you.
What have you done now?
I've not done nothing. It's probably leggy. I don't know. It's I don't know, but I know that look. Something's up.
Okay,
Bloody
the gentleman in the finery begins to make his way towards you. The crowds have thickened on the street, and he's having to kind of push through a person here and there. He's about 20 feet away, and he's got 2 guards and 2 minotaurs behind him.
Fucking hell.
Now, like I said, these guards are not like your normal town guards. These actually appear to be fully armored soldiers.
Okay, well, I speak to the Minotaurs in the native language of the Minotaurs and ask them, what's going on? What do you guys want here?
They kind of look over at you and completely ignore you.
Oi, soft nuts, answer me. Speaking to you in our own language, not this squishy human's language. Be proud mine doesn't actually answer.
They don't even seem to
Do not
understand.
make me come over there.
They don't even seem to understand what you're saying.
I change back into common. Sparhawk, these guys seem like idiots. They don't even understand their own language.
Grog, do you have any idea what happened? Never mind. Excuse me, sir. Can I help you? I'm speaking to the robed bloke.
Well, as he's approaching you, he has a rolled up piece of paper in his hand, and he unrolls it and says, "Ah, you must be Sparhawk, the gentleman in the Minotaur that came in just last night. Is that correct?"
That's correct. We came here with a spider as well. Have you seen it by perchance?
In fact, I've been told that I'm to bring you to the Baron, and this spider is in question. Upon reaching the Baron, he may very well have an answer.
I was actually told to go and see the gate guards because they let people into the city, and they're the ones that hold the roster that you're holding. So maybe I can go and speak to them before I go to the Baron. Would you mind accompanying me there? It'll only take a minute, I promise.
Unfortunately, I've been instructed to bring you directly to the Baron.
Oh, come on.
I've got a question for you. Do you really think you could stop me and him from actually going to the gate?
He looks to his left, back behind him, at the soldier and the Minotaur. And he looks to his right, behind him, to the soldier and the Minotaur. And he says, without question,
Yeah.
God, don't stop, mate. Don't stop.
thought you wanted to go find your spider.
I do,
I
but
personally don't care
we're
about
not
Squishy,
going.
but
Would you?
Yeah, but
I
I
want.
do,
I want you both
wanna-
to roll your perception.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Grog is obviously
naturally
mentally tied
fumbled.
up in this situation. He's kind of getting that battle glaze over his eyes a little bit and not paying too much
I'm
attention.
having a stare down contest.
Yeah. Sparhawk, on the other hand, notices that the guard to the left to stage right, I guess you would say, so standing to the left of the gentleman in finery. Looking at the face of that soldier, you recognize him to be the patron that stood up in the corner of the tavern the night before. And with that,
Oh dear, Grog.
with that, you guys, I'm going to say it's break time. It's been about an hour, and
Ooh.
I think that we're going
Cliffhangers.
to take a 5-minute break here, and we'll be back.
Wayne.